why Ghost of Yotei might not live up to Ghost of Tsushima. And no, it's not because of the female lead or the fail god writers on board. I mean, it kinda smells bad. But I'm not here to hate on the writers or the main protagonist just cause she's a woman. To understand this better, let's talk about the 3 things that made Ghost of Tsushima such a big deal. There's video chapters for easy viewing, and without further ado, let's just dive in. Unlike Ubisoft, Sucker Punch didn't just make a game set in feudal Japan for shiny katanas. Ghost of Tsushima wouldn't be a great game if it wasn't for the story, the characters, and the glorious buttocks of Jin Sakai. God damn. But cheeks aside, let's talk about the ideology of the game. From the very beginning, you're told to fight with honor, uphold the samurai code, and face your enemy head on. Sounds cool, but it doesn't work when you're up against 5 Mongols at once. Okay, maybe it does, but still, Jin has to become more than a samurai to save his home from a ruthless enemy, so he becomes the Batman, hiding in the shadows, instilling fear in the hearts of his enemies, and taking them out one by one. The stealth isn't just a gameplay mechanic, it's woven into the story. Anyways, Jin did not do it just to look cool. He did it cause no one else would. He wasn't driven by revenge or ego, it was a sacrifice for a greater cause, which we'll talk more about in just a bit. Anyways, by doing so, he became the enemy of the very people he once called family. The plot is pretty simple. You are a samurai who has to save his home from the Mongol invasion. But the way they wrote compelling characters in such a simple story is truly impressive. Let's talk about the main antagonist of the game. Khoten Khan is the bad guy who wants to conquer the island of Tsushima. But he's not written as a generic bad guy who just wants to take land and slaughter innocents. He wants to conquer minds and break the will of the samurai. And that's why the poor guy keeps asking for surrender the entire game.
Do you surrender? Surrender! 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 Enough.
Opposing him is Lord Shimura, Jin's uncle and the emotional core of the story. This is where it gets really interesting, cause Lord Shimura is a powerful opposing force to the ghost. After Jin's parents died, Shimura took him in and raised him like a son. He taught Jin how to fight, but just as much, how to live as a samurai with honor and dignity. And that's why Jin's transformation into the ghost is so painful for him. He believes that Jin has strayed from the path and lost his honor. And what makes the ending even more heartbreaking is that Shimura wanted to name Jin as his heir and his true son, but it was never meant to be. You might disagree with Lord Shimura, but you do understand him and his pain. This conflict is what made Ghost of Tsushima such a memorable experience. After the massacre on the beach, one thing was clear to Jin. The Mongols don't care about honor. They basically wiped out the samurai and only a handful survived. Lord Shimura was taken captive and the island of Tsushima was engulfed in flames. Jin saw it all, and even though at first he did not want to admit it, it was now clear that the shogunate represented a dying way of life, a code of honor that the enemy exploited at the very beginning of the game. Being predictable was a weakness, so even though he knew the cost, he had to become the ghost, sacrificing his name, legacy, and his honor to save the ones he loved. But he does not just become an outlaw, he is forced to go against the man who raised him. The final duel with Lord Shimura isn't just a boss fight, it's the emotional peak of the story, and when Shimura demands an honorable death, it's just devastating. Now in classic Sucker Punch fashion, they give you a choice to either spare Shimura or kill him. I chose to give him what he asked for. I felt this is what Jin would have done as well, because even if he abandoned the samurai code, Shimura never did, and he deserved to die with honor and respect.
Leader. And a father.
Thank you, my son. Find me in the next life.
I will.
Honor meant everything to Shimura, and even though it's gut-wrenching for Jin, Shimura dies a true warrior's death. I'll also talk about the second choice in just a bit, but this is one of the best endings in video games. the game does look gorgeous, and I'm pretty sure the gameplay will be a step up from Ghost of Tsushima, which was already solid. This time around you play as Atsu, a girl boss on a revenge quest, and I'm just tired of this whole revenge-driven protagonist thing. I mean, if we're talking about just the Assassin's Creed franchise, there are like 5 games where the main protagonist is driven by revenge. Anyways, these masked freaks killed her people, burnt her village, and for some reason couldn't manage to kill her. Years later, she's a lone wolf on the hunt with a checklist of targets. Literally. Oh, and just like Assassin's Creed, you can take them out in any order you like. Now, one more thing is that there are no allies shown in the trailer. I mean, even Jin Sakai, a trained samurai, needed help from time to time, and in the trailers, they showed those allies. They also hinted at the game's unique themes of duty, sacrifice, and honor. Well, now, that's all gone. Cause Atsu is an all-powerful badass girl boss who doesn't need anyone. Even nature's got her back, giving her wolves or some shit. So yeah, no deep ideologies, no greater cause. Just another checkbox story. And even the bad guys seem super generic. Compare that to Ghost of Tsushima's trailer. This guy wasn't just a brute. He had a presence and a character. While these bad guys have nothing memorable to say, this just feels hollow, and to be honest, this is what Assassin's Creed Shadows should have been. I do hope that I'm wrong and this game turns out to be great, but I've been noticing a pattern, and that's why I'm skeptical. Many of the fans, including me, were invested in Jin's story. In the spare ending, Jin lets Lord Shimura live and fully embraces the identity of the ghost, cruelly denying Shimura's wish and turning his back on the samurai code of honor.
But I will not kill my family. The ghost will be hunted for the rest of his days. I know.
This was the canon ending and made perfect sense to set up a sequel. Jin Sakai, a rogue samurai, now also an enemy of the shogunate, while the Mongol threat still looms in the background. They could also explore themes like other samurai misusing the ghost mantle for their own gain, or even some of them becoming Jin's allies. Maybe I'm biased, but Jin Sakai was a genuinely interesting character and he deserved a sequel. I also wanted to know what happened to Lord Shimura. Did the shogunate order him to hunt Jin, or did they punish him for failing to stop the ghost in the first place? Imagine if the shogunate actually killed Shimura, that would have made the spare ending sting even more, pushing Jin to a darker place. This could have also let us decide what Ghost really is, a hero or a monster, just like the infamous games. But instead, they started fresh with a new protagonist no one asked for. Cause let's be honest, they needed to check their DEI boxes. I mean, who cares what the fans want, right? Anyways, do let me know in the comments, will you be pre-ordering Ghost of Yotei, or are you waiting for the reviews to come in first? Thanks for watching, drop a like and subscribe to the channel if you liked the video. Until next time, take care.